Let's speak about Workhorse, baby. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the clothing line to prove that fact. And today, we're going to speak about Workhorse. So I think every single Workhorse investor is completely and utterly aware of everything that's going on right now, but there's a few things I want to speak about in particular in today's video. We will have a look at the price action, we'll see what's gone on, we'll see where we've hit, how we've recovered the price ranges that we've stayed within, and then there is a few very interesting things going on right now. So the first one is this: Workhorse and Oshkosh wrapped up in a political battle, and that is essentially what today's video is going to be entirely about. This article right here: Captor introduces resolution calling for a halt to USPS Oshkosh contract in light of failure to meet electric vehicle standards. And this one here: 3 US lawmakers call on the USPS to freeze the Oshkosh vehicle contract. So I mean, to everybody who's been following this for a long time, for close to a year at this stage, we always knew that politics was playing a role of sorts, but I don't think many of us expected to be playing this big of a role at this stage. But everything that's happened over the last few weeks, very contradictory to what Joe Biden has had to say during his presidency. It's all been a little bit crazy. That's what we're going to speak about today. We're going to speak about what these people are actually saying and the implications it could potentially have for Workhorse going forwards. So my friends, right before we do get into today's video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you're doing with your Workhorse shares right now. And please, my friend, if you aren't even new around here, hit that juicy red subscribe button and join the family of investors, baby. Also, if you are interested in joining my private Discord group, that is the first link in the description. In here you get access to all of my buy and sell alerts. We're sending out morning messages about the markets, what we're watching, things like that. Join a community of over 2,000 investors. Get access to over 50 private channels. It is a juicy community. And if you'd like 2 free stocks on Webull, all you gotta do is hit that second link in the description. Sign up, deposit $100, you get some free money. So we're gonna start it off right here. Workhorse and Oshkosh wrapped up in a political battle, because this is short and sweet and it kind of summarizes what is happening. So Ohio Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, okay, that's exactly what this article here is speaking about. She's the chairwoman of the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Energy and Water Development and co-chair of the House Wkhs, introduced a House resolution today calling on the Biden administration to halt the USPS contract awarded to Oshkosh contract until an investigation is completed. And I have to say that as somebody who's followed the Workhorse for so long, I'm really happy to see this. I mean, we've done a lot of research, a lot of DD into this company, and everything was pointing to them getting at least some portion of this contract. And then Joe Biden coming in and saying that they're going to electrify the entire US federal fleet was the cherry on top. It was essentially the last piece of the puzzle that really would have led you guys to believe, myself included, that Workhorse was going to get a very considerable portion of the USPS contract. But then what actually happened was completely contradictory to everything that made sense. The resolution asked that it be determined if there was inappropriate political influence in the process of awarding the contract, and if the proposed contract is consistent with the President Biden's executive order to electrify the federal fleet. And you will see when we get into this article right here, a lot of it is being aimed towards the Joy. And remember, when he did become the Postmaster General, Trump was still in administration. And a lot of people thought maybe Trump wants Ohio, maybe the Joy will do something with Workhorse, and it kind of worked out the other way around in the end. The resolution is being introduced after Postmaster General Louis the Joy announced during testimony before the House Oversight and Reform Committee that only 10% of the new USPS fleet will be electric, despite the winning Oshkosh vehicle offering an EV option. It's insanity, realistically. So this here, there's a lot to be said. We don't need to go through absolutely all of it, but we will go through some of the important parts. There are many questions surrounding the USPS Oshkosh contract to construct 165,000 postal vehicles over the next decade, representing roughly a third of the entire federal government's fleet. And that there is a fact that cannot be overlooked, again, due to previous statements by Joe Biden saying that they're going to electrify the entire federal government fleet. They've pretty much come out and said they're only going to do 10% of 33% of it. The new vehicles are said to be capable of incorporating an electric drivetrain. We just said, Louis the Joy said, only about 10% of the fleet will be electric. 10% makes no sense and flies in the face of President Biden's recent order to electrify the federal fleet. So again, when we got that order in, that was the cherry on top. You know, that was essentially confirmation that Workhorse will get a portion of this contract, and this is how it worked out. The Joy's problem-riddled tenure calls into question the awarding of a contract critical to the future of success of the Postal Service at a time when he has already struggled mightily to lead, and I think we have seen that over the past few months. A lot of heat has been thrown his way. It does not make sense where USPS would go through all of the trouble of re-imaging their fleet, yet put its collective head in the sand when it comes to internal combustion versus future propulsion platforms. This contract is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity to re-image the federal fleet and develop this critical domestic supply chain. We can't fumble it. Why would you put us back on that treadmill? You are going to have built these vehicles for obsolescence. They will be the last vehicles running on fossil fuels on the road. It's insane, and it well and truly is. And I think we wouldn't have as strong a case to make if it wasn't for Joe Biden coming out yet again and saying they're going to electrify the entire federal fleet. It's very difficult to argue why Oshkosh would have 100% of the contract, and it's even more, very tough so to argue that only 10% of them are going to be electric, as the Joy has come out and said. There is no question that electric is the future of the automotive industry, and there's no question. It is factual. It is going to happen. President Biden knows this, and that is why he signed an executive order to electrify our federal fleet. Currently, over 141,000 of the aging postal trucks average only 10 miles per gallon. Ooh, these trucks are at the end of their operational lifespan, and we need to buy new ones. Why wouldn't we go electric? Now, this is important. They say this deal must be halted until we can guarantee that there was no inappropriate political or financial influence and that the contract is consistent with President Biden's executive order to electrify our fleet. There was also a $54 million trade performed on Oshkosh just before the contract gets announced. Congress have since asked for that to be investigated. So yes, we have to look at the political motives potentially, see if there is any conflict of interest going on. But also, there was financial gain here for people. If you knew the outcome of this contract, okay, let's be honest, there was more money to be made from shorting Workhorse than from buying Oshkosh. So there was most certainly financial and political motives for some very powerful people here. So that is the newest update with Workhorse as of right now. And this is what's incredibly important. Now, this is what is going to dictate the future of the USPS. But there is also now potential that, things will get halted. There is potential that things will change. There is potential that Workhorse will get some of the USPS contract. No guarantees, but there is potential. And at least we can see that it's not just us retail investors, okay? It's not just me and you. It's Congress. The USPS said on Monday, with the right level of support, the majority of the Postal Service's fleet can be electric by the end of the decade. Why wait until the end of the decade when you have this opportunity in front of you right now? You are going to save more money if you begin now. I mean, it's common sense. I genuinely don't understand how, it's gone to this. One other thing, Huffman introduced legislation on Monday, co-sponsored by 18 other House Democrats, to provide $6 billion to the US Postal Service to buy tens of thousands of additional electric delivery vehicles and charging stations. This here could potentially be absolutely huge, and again, it could lead to Workhorse getting a portion of the contract. Now, with Workhorse, there has been no certainties for more than a year now. It's been a lot of speculation. It's been a lot of trying to read between the lines. And funnily enough, I don't think that has changed yet. Yes, as of this moment in time, they've gotten no portion of the contract, but that could change. And I'm not saying this as wishful thinking. I'm not saying it because I have been a bull for so long. I'm trying to be as, open here as I possibly can. That could change. And with all of these people fighting on Workhorse's behalf, who knows? Something could happen. So when it comes to the price point, look, I don't think there's much point in looking at this chart. There's a lot of things going on right now. Obviously, we didn't get the USPS contract. There was this huge crash. There's also been a general sell-off in regards to tech and growth stocks largely. They have spent most of their time set out in previous support and resistance areas at around $15 all the way up to $19.24. They're currently at $16.23. They're generally having decent sized intraday moves. I think it's going to remain this way until, either market sentiment completely changes and tech, EV growth all starts to slowly but steadily go up again, or when we find out about the USPS contract again. But my friends, that is my updated video on Workhorse, baby. We're still keeping up to date with these, of course we are. If you watched all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here from the bottom of my heart. Your support means the world to me. If you did enjoy the video, perhaps took some value, some insight, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, drop me a comment down below, and please, my friend, subscribe if you're new around here. And again, if you are interested in that private Discord group, that is the first link in the description. Lots of juicy info in there, and if you want those free stocks on Webull, that's the second link. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. I hope the markets treat you well. I'll see you for another video soon. Peace.